So where should we start?
Well, Jack.
I actually have looked into the origin of the word zombie. So we
Excellent.
should start right at the beginning.
Okay, right in the beginning.
So the word zombie, as we know it, Zombie, comes from a collection of West African words. And obviously, as the computer said, they kind of the idea of a zombie kind of came from voodoo and things in West Africa. So the following words have all played a part in the creation of the word zombie. The word Nzambi, starting with an N, Nzambi meaning God, and Zumbi with a U, and Nzumbi, which means fetish come from the Congo.
Right.
Okay.
So we've headed out of Africa, across the Atlantic to Haiti.
So another word that has contributed to creating the word zombie is Mvumbi, I think is how you pronounce it, Mvumbie, which means a corpse that still keeps its soul, which is kind of what we expect from a traditional zombie, is a walking corpse.
Yeah. I mean,
so Mvumbi is where that comes from. Nvumvi, I'm sorry if I pronounce any of these wrong, is also similar in that it means a body without a soul. So it's kind of almost the opposite, but you can see where this word's kind of generating from. When these words came over from West Africa, along with voodoo traditions, elements were taken, so as language does, developed into what we now call a zombie.
Yeah, and from my bit of research about it, from obviously zombie, we all look at zombies as being a kind of a will-less and speechless human, as in voodoo belief and in fictional stories, and held to have died and been supernaturally reanimated. The supernatural power that, according to voodoo belief, may enter into and reanimate a body, and a person held to resemble the so-called walking dead, like an automaton.
Yeah, because it's kind of interesting, because it's kind of, to a degree, from what I've found, that this kind of voodoo side of things, it's kind of like a form of hypnosis.
In some cases, there is kind of a hypnotic element to it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we've had the description now of where the word comes from, and it's obviously very deep-rooted into the voodoo culture.
Well, both of our definitions so far have already kind of delved into the West African kind of voodoo side of things, which is something I didn't really know, to be honest, before looking into this subject. I always thought zombies were kind of before George A. Romero. I didn't think there was very much to do.
Again, a little reference I got was, according to the Merriam-Webber dictionary, the word comes from the Louisiana Creole and Haitian Creole word of zombie, with a Zonbi. Did you have that one down? And is as kin is kin to the Kimbundu term Nuzumbi, which you did have. Nzumbi, which means ghost. That's what this one has down.
So it's kind of so it's kind of following the same line through both, but slightly different variations of the same word.
It's interesting because the idea of a zombie nowadays has developed from this kind of idea that they're going to eat you. Kind of consume flesh.
I think it's
and
fair
you become
to
a
say.
zombie.
I think we're talking where that kind of folklore enters in, probably more into the movie genre. Whereas in the folklore side of it, it's really, you're just creating a worker, a soulless.
Because you do hear the word zombie kind of thrown about for people that are a bit kind of brain dead.
Or somebody,
they're a zombie.
or somebody just like follows orders. Follows orders without question. I think that's probably the root of maybe reanimating a dead body to become a zombie, so that whoever has reanimated it is using that individual as a
slave to
do what they want, rather than a rampaging
creature
that when they bite you, it transfers the zombification onto the next person. I think in the first instance it would have just been the idea of these ghost-like reanimated dead bodies.
It's interesting to see that in this case that there are a couple of films that do actually reference or use that instead of eating people.